Welcome to my channel where we discuss all things and everything politics, especially the 2023 presidential election. You know that a few weeks ago, the pan-Yoruba socio-cultural group, Afenifere, endorsed the presidential candidate of Labour Party, Mr. Peter Obi, as his preferred presidential candidate ahead of the 2023 presidential election. This announcement was made by the acting president of Afenifere, Pa Ayo Adebanjo. Adebanjo said that the reason why they are endorsing Peter Obi is because the presidency of Nigeria in 2023 supposed to be come from the southeast, where Peter Obi comes from. Ayo Adebanjo said that they are doing this for fairness, justice, and equity. That the presidency has stayed in the southwest for 8 years under Obasanjo, and under the present dispensation, Southwest has produced Vice President Banjo for 8 years, going to 8 years now. By May 29, 2023, it will make 8 years of Banjo as Vice President from the Southwest. That the South has had a fair share by producing Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as president for 5 years. And that for fairness, justice, and equity, since 1999, no president has come from the Southeast. That it is good and necessary that the next president of the country comes from Southeast. That was Afenifere's understanding. And Afenifere did not come to this conclusion alone. It was a conclusion that was arrived by other socio-cultural groups in the country, including the PANDEF of Niger Delta, including the Middle Belt Forum from North Central Nigeria. That was how that conclusion was reached. And Afenifere, therefore, fulfilled its own part of the bargain, that was what they're going to do. They're going to support a presidential candidate from Southeast. In fact, these social-cultural organizations had earlier said that all the political parties should zone their presidential ticket from the Southeast to the Southeast, so that head or tail, the next president of Nigeria will come from the Southeast. We know that the parties did not do this. APC did not do this. PDP did not do it. In fact, the PDP was even worse. They threw it open that a northern candidate emerged. So this is a brief background on the reason why Peter Obi was endorsed as the preferred presidential candidate of Afenifere. Now, which raises the question, who is the leader of Afenifere? Because you must have heard or read in the papers that Afenifere has also endorsed Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. But that is not true. And to confirm that Afenifere did not endorse Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and that's what you saw in the papers after Tinubu visited Pa Fasoranti was actually mischief by some media organizations in Nigeria, because this is what Pa Fasoranti said about this so-called endorsement of Tinubu by Afenifere. He said, I did not endorse Tinubu. He came with his people for prayers, and as a father, I prayed for him. If Obi comes too, I will pray for him. It is not my place to endorse anyone. That is the exclusivity of the Afenifere, which I am no longer the leader. That's what Paruben Fasoranti said. He said he did not endorse Tinubu. But you will see the newspaper headlines and television headlines saying Afenifere endorsed Tinubu. Afenifere cannot do two endorsements. Ordinarily, they can't do two endorsements. There is only one Afenifere. But Tinubu, the presidential candidate of APC, is doing everything possible to divide Afenifere because of his ambition to be president, even against the tides. Okay? Now, which led to the question, who is Afenifere leader right now? Now, before I answer that question, uh, if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you will be among the first to know. God bless you. And don't forget to like this video and share it widely so that other people can see it. Pa Ruben Fasoranti was elected Afenifere leader in 2008. In 2021, he was 95 years old, and he found out that age has slowed him down so much that he can no longer perform the duties of leading Afenifere. He stepped down. After stepping down, he now handed over power to Pa Ayo Adebanjo. So Ayo Adebanjo became the president of Afenifere, the leader of Afenifere in 2021, March 2021. And as I told you, Fasoranti said that he is stepping down because of old age. He can no longer do the duty of leading the socio-cultural organization. And he said that the reason he was handing over to Pa Adebanjo was because Pa Adebanjo was well schooled in Obafemi Awolowo's school of thought. He is somebody who has worked with the former premier of Western region and one of the founding fathers of Nigeria, Chief Obafemi Awolowo. So he is well able and qualified to lead. So he stepped down for him. Therefore, since March 2021, Pa Adebanjo has been leading Afenifere, organizing each meeting, issuing statements on behalf of the organization, attending meetings that has to do with other socio-cultural organizations in Nigeria, be it meetings with Pandef, be it meeting with Ohaneze, be it a meeting with Middle Belt Forum, and then meeting with Northern Elders Forum or Arewa Consultative Forum. That's the man that have been representing the, the Yoruba race. So having given you this background, you now know that Pa Adebanjo is the present leader of Afenifere. Pa Fasoranti has also confirmed it that he is no longer the leader, that any decision about endorsement has to be done by Afenifere and that he's not the leader of Afenifere. So the endorsement of Tinubu was not done by Fasoranti on behalf of Afenifere. He blessed Tinubu as an elder would bless a child of his to wish him luck, even though they have already decided that Southeast Peter Obi is their preferred presidential candidate. Having said this, the only endorsement that Afenifere has done is the one that was approved by other leaders of Afenifere and stamped by the current leader of Afenifere, Pa Ayo Adebanjo. That is the way it is. Therefore, P2B has been endorsed by the authentic Afenifere. What Tinubu received when he visited Pa Fasoranti is a blessing, a prayer, which he requested for. As a matter of fact, when Tinubu phoned Fasoranti that he is coming to visit him, Fasoranti called Pa Adebanjo whether he should receive Tinubu, according to the story by Pa Adebanjo. And he told Fasoranti that you can receive anybody that want to come and visit you. You have to receive. You can receive. You are an elder. You can't reject any child of yours. Say don't come. And that was how it is. That was how it was. But you can see how they try to spin it in the media, because most of the media in Nigeria now are in the pocket of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and they try to spin it that he has been endorsed by Afenifere. Okay. Now, having said this, I want to let you know that Tinubu is really a politician who is only interested in his own personal aggrandizement. He is not in this race for the good of the people. For a very long time now, he has been creating divisions, all in the bid to become president. Where he is supposed to speak out, he will not speak out. This Fasoranti that he visited to be blessed or to be prayed for, when Fasoranti's daughter was killed by herdsmen in 2019, Tinubu was among those who were questioning whether it was herdsmen that killed the daughter of Fasoranti. He was asking, where are the cows of the herdsmen? As if these herdsmen, when they want to kidnap, they will carry their cow along with them when they want to go and kidnap. He said, where are the cows? What is the evidence that is herdsmen? And he was doing these things to ingratiate himself to President Buhari so that he could be able to be favorably looked up to emerge the candidate of APC. Now, despite his efforts to claim that there was no proof that it was herdsmen, the people that were arrested and tried in courts and was eventually sentenced or convicted in 2022 were herdsmen who shot the woman to death. But as far as Tinubu was concerned, anything that will be in his way towards getting the presidency must be kicked aside. No morality at all. So he didn't care about the death of that woman as long as the death will not interfere in what he was looking for. So he was ready to defend that it was not his men that killed that woman, but he was proven wrong by those that were arrested and were eventually convicted. Today, he's doing everything possible to divide Afenifere. Even Pa Adebanjo has confirmed it. He said what Tinubu is doing now is to divide Afenifere. And that is in a bid for him to get the presidency. And Afenifere is not the only thing that Tinubu has been dividing in this his ambition to become president. He has divided southern Nigeria because the original idea, as I told you, was that the next president of Nigeria should come from the southeast. It was Tinubu that made sure that APC did not zone its presidency to the southeast. He made sure that when it comes to the south, it will be thrown open. Whoever can grab it should grab it. Of course, since he has a deep pocket, he was able to buy over the delegates and emerge the presidential candidate. And it didn't start today. If you look at Tinubu's antecedent, in 2011, the southern Nigeria was united and southern Nigeria voted for Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan won in 2011 because the whole of the south was with him. In 2015, it was Tinubu that brought division in the south that eventually led to the defeat of Jonathan because of his own ambition to become vice president to Muhammad Buhari so that he could eventually become president. But he was stubborn on his tracks because Buhari was not ready to do Muslim ticket. Now, when he was looking for this presidency, for the ticket of APC, he was the first person to bring ethnic division in 2023 presidential election by saying that it is the turn of the Yoruba and it is my turn, Emilakon, which has now entered the lexicon of Nigerian politics. So he brought ethnic division, and he also brought religious division. Because right now, the problem or tension that will result from Muslim tickets is because of his own making. If he had chosen a vice presidential candidate from Christian North, there wouldn't have been any religious tension that would be associated with his ticket and the outcome of this election. And this is to divide Christians and Muslims. He is also the man that has brought division within Christianity. He has appointed Christians who are members of CAN officials into the campaign council of APC. PDP never did a thing like this. Labour Party never did a thing like this. NNPP never did a thing like this. Recruiting, putting the names of CAN ex-officials as members of the campaign council. What is the point? To divide Christians, because CAN has already said that they will never support same-faith tickets, which Tinubu is propagating with his ticket. He was the only candidate who, in the course of unveiling his vice presidential candidate, invited 30 bishops, fake bishops, just to sow division among the Christendom. What was his point? To prove that Christians are not united in rejecting the same faith ticket of APC. He brought that division. It is through this same Tinubu that, to be able to get mileage over Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, they began to accuse Osinbajo that he hates Muslims, that he is anti-Muslim, that he doesn't employ Muslims in his law chambers as a legal practitioner, and that even in his office in the Aso Rock Villa, that Osinbajo does not have Muslims in his office. And if it was a lie, this situation forced Osinbajo to release the list of Muslims working under him. Besides, most of the recruitment in the presidency were done by Buhari himself. They only seconded people to Osinbajo's office. So Osinbajo didn't even have the authority to employ anybody in his office. They only employ from the list of Buhari as aides of the presidency, and then they transfer some people to his office on secondment. But all these were to demonize Osinbajo, so that Muslims in the north will hate him, so that at the APC primary they will reject him. And of course, it eventually worked for him. Muslims in the north, Muslim delegates and their governors, they turned their back on Osinbajo, who ordinarily in a decent society, Osinbajo would have been the presidential candidate of APC, because being the vice president, he has the right of first refusal. That is how it's done all over the world. In the United States, where we borrowed the presidential system of government. But Tinubu created division so that he could emerge. And only God knows the end of the divisions he will continue to create until 2023 presidential election in February. So Nigerians should watch him very well. He has divided Afenifere. He has divided Christians and Muslims. He has divided Christians. Is now pitching Igbos and Yorubas in Lagos and elsewhere. But a lot of Yoruba elite and Igbo elite are smarter than him. They are not buying into his ethnic jingoism. Because if they are doing that, Afenifere itself wouldn't have bothered about endorsing Peter Obi. So what we are witnessing now is the desperation of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu to be president. And one of his latest efforts is to divide Afenifere because he felt uncomfortable that Afenifere overlooked him and endorsed Peter Obi. But what Afenifere did was for fairness, justice, and equity. Because, like Pa Adebanjo has said, if Yoruba take over this position, this presidency that's supposed to come to the south, and capture it, then what is the difference between the Yoruba and the Fulani hegemony they are complaining about? Over the years, since Nigeria's independence, the Yoruba elite have been complaining against Fulani hegemony. It is because of Fulani hegemony that Yorubas are the forefront of the campaign for true federalism. Now, if Yoruba will support Tinubu because they can get the presidency through him without caring for fairness and equity, what is the difference between the dominance of Fulani and the dominance of Yoruba? This is what Afenifere don't want. That is why Afenifere is on the path of fairness, justice, and equity. Because they know that even if they have an advantage today, it is not sustainable. And what they do today, the Fulanis are watching. Tomorrow, you may no longer complain and they will listen to you. Because you have also shown that grabbing power is all that we want, without care for fairness, justice, and equity. I advise Yoruba youths and some of the elites to go and read the columns of late Chief Bola, the former Chief Justice, the former Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice. Bola has a column. He had a column. He writes for Tribune. That is where you see that the Yoruba had been at the forefront of fighting against Hausa Fulani hegemony in Nigeria. The Yorubas now saying that they are ready to replace Hausa Fulani hegemony with the Yoruba hegemony, in the sense that after 8 years of Obasanjo, 8 years of Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, that the Yoruba is the only people in southern Nigeria that deserve to do another 8 years under Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Then what is the essence of fairness, justice, and equity that the Yoruba has stood for all these years when it was fighting against Hausa Fulani hegemony? It means that there is really no difference between the Hausa Fulani and the Yoruba. It is just that the Hausa Fulani had more opportunity than the Yoruba, and that if they had the opportunity that the Hausa Fulani had, there wouldn't be any difference between two of them. And Afenifere is standing on high moral ground to say, look, we are not Hausa Fulani hegemonists. We are people that support fairness, justice, and equity. We have had our fair share. Let people of Southeast have their own turn. Thank you for watching this video. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, and like this video also so that you can share it widely. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.